So now we begin with a gentleman who many of us got to know during the primary elections as one of the candidates for the Republican nomination for Congress. He's been a businessman. He's run both Fortune 500 companies and his own small real estate concerns for over 25 years. He's a conservative political activist. He's the head of the Small Business PAC. He's also a kidney transplant survivor and a kidney health and organ donation activist, serving on the board of directors of the National Kidney Foundation. By the way, Kidney Walk is coming up, and very proud to say Monticello Media is media sponsors for it, so please sign up. He lives here in Charlottesville with his wife and 4 beautiful children. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Laurence Verga.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's like old school day. Great seeing everyone. Very happy to be here. First thing, I have a heavy heart standing here because on this day last year, I watched my great friend, Gary Helmbrich, give him hell. And I miss him. He was a personal and, of course, physical supporter of my campaign, and we became family friends. And to you, Gary, we love you. As we stand here today, I've heard, oh, there's not a lot of people, we could have more. Don't think like that. Let's look at history. During the Revolutionary War, there is as few as 30% of Americans, or would-be Americans, that supported the Revolutionary War.
Right.
It's not powered by numbers, it's powered by passion. Everyone here whose face I have seen for the last couple of years have made a huge difference in this county, the state, and this country. And as long as we don't give up, it won't end. It will not end. It's on its way. All right, amen to you. And I want everybody here to realize at the Tea Party, I'm just tired of the criticism that we get, tired of being called racist, tired of all these things. People need to find out about it. It is about government responsibility. I echo on something Joe said. When did people in this country, the populace, begin to think that government was going to take care of them? And they were going to have all their problems solved. When did that happen? And when are they going to learn that it's not working? Yesterday was a bad day. I think it was a bad day for conservatives because the bill that they put in is a joke. It's a sham. They are not cutting anything. They're cutting things they may not spend. They're cutting things in the future that they haven't spent yet. It is nothing. We were at a gunfight. And we had 2 guns, and they had 1, and we backed down. I ran because I was angry at the Republican Party. As long as we have leaders like John Boehner, Mitch McConnell, and our friend up here, Eric Cantor, we are not going to do the job. We might lose 2012 because of what we did do. No reason to back down. And I'm very proud of my friend Robert Hurt for voting no. Good job, Robert. No. A business cannot sustain itself with debt. A family can't sustain itself with debt. So how do we expect our country to sustain itself with debt? We can't. We are well down a precarious road, absolutely crashing. And people in this country balked at what the Republicans wanted to get through, which was just cutting 6 days of government. And they thought it was Armageddon. It really surprises me how people can believe that. And not only that, but this is a fact. If they taxed the 2% they call wealthy 100%, it would not even be a percent against the debt. The opposition, needs to stop wanting to raise taxes on Americans who have done well. And whenever they say we want to cut taxes on billionaires and millionaires, and Obama said President Obama, people like me, out of that 2%, only about 0.1% is a multimillionaire or a billionaire. That percent is the employment class. That is the small, mid-size, even a big business, not Fortune 500. That is who they're taxing. And the other folks that they're taxing are working professionals in highly expensive urban areas. You get a couple that's making $300,000 a year living in New York City or San Francisco, they're not going to get student loans for their kids, and you're going to add 5% onto their success. And do you know what President Obama said? They should share because this country gave them success. The premise of this great nation is that it's a group of people who are independent and have built their own lives by working hard, by being disciplined, by doing the right thing. It's not the government giving you anything. We're giving it to them, and we need to take it back.
It's our money.
It's our money. It is not their money. Now, one of my favorite politicians who I quoted all the time, I hate saying favorite politician, but I said it, during my campaign was Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan means business. He has proposed doing away with our current tax system, which we know is impossible to understand, is impossible to get through without paying a lot of money, and costs the United States billions of dollars a year for the IRS. And how much does it take out of business when we're spending our time putting together tax information, paying an accountant instead of paying for an employee or expanding our business? It has got to go. It has got to go. Now, we've talked about the fair tax, and I have an issue with the fair tax. The issue with the fair tax is not that it's a good plan, but I just don't believe we could ever convince the populace of this country that it would work. It would have to be the biggest PR job in the history of the world. But Paul Ryan has a good plan. The top earners pay 25%. And we take out most of the things that corporations do, all the things that Fortune 500 companies do to find loopholes. Most of them aren't paying taxes. They would have to pay that 25%. Now, that would take us down from 35 to 25%. I still think it's too high for corporations, and the reason I think it's too high is that we need to be the most competitive country in the world to bring business here. Now, let's talk about this again, because Paul Ryan is. At 35%, we are probably the highest free country in big business tax. Okay? So if I wanted to start a business or bring a manufacturing plant, say down in Martinsville, which has 22% unemployment, by the time I'm done with 35%, and by the time I'm done with the local taxes, I'm paying 50%. Now I could get some of that down, but I'm not going to be competitive in a business that makes it on 5 to 10% business margin. I bet you our president doesn't know that. The average business makes it on 5 to 10% business margin. So if you're successful making it 5%, he wants to tax you 5% more, before you close your doors, you let people go. And guess what? We have more unemployment people on the unemployment rolls. More people that are not living their dream. More people whose lives are crushed. We need to cut that corporate tax, and we need to make ourselves competitive. Canada, during the Labour Party years, cut it down to 16%. And that 16% is making that nation sing. We need to go down there to that tax. Paul Ryan's plan is great. My only challenge is that it's coming in 212 and not 211 when we really needed it. But let's keep up the fight. Let's communicate with people like Paul Ryan, with Michelle Bachmann, Jim DeMint. We have some great leaders. Robert's becoming a great leader. And we will get the changes that we need to sustain our country. Beware of the government. Beware of our big financial institutions who are squeezing this country. Beware of Wall Street. Beware of labor unions, particularly public labor unions. Beware of it all, because they're squishing us out of the mix. Americans, hardworking Americans, are not getting our fair share. The big guys are winning and we are losing. I want to finish because I think my time is going down to nothing. So it's 4th and 1 on the goal line and I need to push the ball over. I have been advocating for health care in the last few months. I actually advocated for the National Kidney Foundation on the Hill and got to meet with my representative, Laurence Verga. And it was a wonderful day. I'm learning a lot about health care and about Medicare. And I'm working on some legislation with some people in D.C. that could cut hundreds of millions of dollars out of Medicare. So I'm going to be continuing to do the fight in that area of health care. And whenever taxes go up or government spends, whenever taxes go up, government spends, it makes taxes go up. And so they're hand in hand. Let's keep up the fight. It's great to see everyone on such a beautiful day. And please be here on May 15th for the Kidney Walk so we can help people that are less fortunate than I was and they can get some medical treatment and they need it because 60% of the people that we give free treatment to have kidney disease and are already suffering and could die. So I'd like to see you all there, and Robert will be speaking. So, go Tea Party, love it, talk to you later.